So today, news broke that the Detroit Pistons have re-signed someone, and that someone is none other than Isaiah Stewart. In this video, we are going to get into the weeds of what the contract looks like. We are going to talk about the fit on the team. We kind of already know it, but also what the upside looks like, what other teams we're seeing in Isaiah Stewart, how it's going to take it, but also we're going to talk about the importance of signing a person from the first round, the very first draft of Troy Weaver. Isaiah Stewart was the only one that looks like he's going to be extension eligible left. Killian Hayes, it's looking like a bad thing. So as far as re-signing him, so we're gonna talk about this. So let's first get to the details. It was first broke by Adrian Wojnarowski. Wojbomb. All right, Detroit Pistons /center Isaiah Stewart has agreed on a 4-year, $64 million rookie contract extension. His agent, Drew Gross of Rock Nation Sports, tells ESPN. Stewart gets the first non-maximum extension for the 2020 draft class. So of everybody who signed in 2020, there were some players that received the maximum extension. I think Ball was one of them, Halliburton, things like that. Halliburton, 260 million. Are you kidding me? So, anyways, I think that's what it was. I might be thinking of a different contract, but I think that's what it was. So he's got this massive max contract. But this one comes in at 4 years, 64 million. Let's break that contract down a little bit more because that's not actually what the contract is. From everything I'm reading, from everything I'm seeing from multiple sources, the team and the national media has said this is actually a 4-year, $60 million deal. It has the ability to go to a 4-year, $64 million deal with incentives. But wait for the but. It is a team option in the 4th year. So, for all intensive purposes, this is a 3-year, $45 million contract. So, we know we just had Bagley on a 3-year, $36 million contract. So now we get Isaiah Stewart on a 3-year, $45 million contract. But if he is outperforming that contract, you pick up the team option. If he is underperforming that team or that contract, you get out from under it. Here's some of the reasons this absolutely makes sense for the Pistons. It lines up. So what this means is if he plays out the entirety of the contract, he's on our team for 5 more years. He has the next year is he still on his rookie year, and then this extension kicks in. So this is planning out for the future and hoping he continues to progress. This is big in multiple ways. I think what this says is that the team is extremely confident that Isaiah Stewart is going to be a power forward for us going forward. Everybody at this time of year always wants to know, whether it's in summer league, they're always asking the beat writers. They're always saying, like, how are the bodies looking? Like, what are people looking like? James Edwards said he does look a little thinner. He looks a little trimmed down. That would tell me that he's planning on playing a lot more power forward this year. We know he has versatility, so if he's slimmed down just a little bit, that could help him be a little quicker off his feet. He can still play big, but he can absolutely guard some of the smaller and more easily switch onto some wings and stuff like that if he just dropped a little bit of weight. So this is big on that one. And it goes on to another thing that we have a video, me and Chris put out a video just a few hours ago talking about the battle between Duren and Wiseman. I think this makes that summer league battle even more pressing. Who's going to be the starter? Because there's not going to be a lot of minutes for the other one. Because if we have just handed Isaiah Stewart a 4-year, $60 million deal or 3-year, $45 million deal, whatever you want to call it, that means that we are committed to him. You are not going to hand someone 4 years, $60 million. I know 64 is what it can be. You're not going to hand someone 4 years, $60 million and then not play them unless you're the Miami Heat and you have Duncan Robinson. And then you wait till the NBA Finals, then you play them. So anyways, I think it just makes sense. And actually what I'm seeing is more like 3 years, 45 million, 3 years, 48 million, somewhere in there. It's the 15 to $16 million range. How do you feel about the price? How do you feel about the price on it? Do you feel like Isaiah Stewart is worth 15 to $16 million a year right now? And my original and my first thought is no. He hasn't played up to that. He averaged, I think it was 12 points, 8 rebounds last year. His season was cut short, but he is adding 3 or 4% on his 3-point percentage from being worth every penny of that. He is a good switch defender. In a pinch, you can play him at your 5. He played our 5 for a long time. So you can play him there if you need to. There's so many different things on this that you just have to be like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That just flat makes sense. Like, he doesn't need to improve that much. And even if he doesn't improve, he's still probably worth 8 to 10 million as is. As is. NBA money is different. People balk at 14, 15 million. They balk at 14, 15, 16 million. And then you see Desmond Bain gets over 200 million. Jeremy Grant with that $160 million extension, 5 years, $160 million. If you think Jeremy Grant in year 4 or 5 of that contract is worth 32 million, but you don't think Isaiah Stewart in year 1 or 2 is worth 15, I think we have to recalibrate. Do I think it's a lot of money? Does it seem like a lot of money? Yes, it does seem like a lot of money. That's where the NBA is going. That is just how it's done. So the Pistons get a guy who is a dog. They get a guy who is an emotional leader in the locker room. This staff has always loved Isaiah Stewart. The management has been extremely high on Isaiah Stewart. They say he's key to the rebuild and the restore and what the Pistons are doing. So sometimes you need to pay to have guys like that around. You just do. And if you were to say to me right now, who do I want to be on the Pistons roster in 2 to 3 years? Isaiah Stewart, James Wiseman, or Marvin Bagley? My answer every time, think about it, everybody, is going to be Isaiah Stewart, right? Jalen Duren, oh, that dude looks like he could be up to something, and there's a lot of potential in that 19-year-old body. All right. So I wouldn't necessarily put it over that. But Isaiah Stewart is a big player going forward for this team in more ways than one. If he can develop that outside game in just a little bit, he can be like a better Jay Crowder. I really do believe that he can be a combination of like a Jay Crowder and a Serge Ibaka type player, just because of his size profile and the things that he offers. There's a lot of good things to be said about the ceiling for Isaiah Stewart. He's only played in the league for 3 years. It's only been 3 years. And now with the new coaching staff, obviously Monty Williams has given his signature of approval on this. So I am very excited to see what the Pistons are going to do with this. And it's nice to get somebody from the Troy Weaver era, somebody that he drafted. It's nice to get that person moving forward. It's really nice to see it. So, yep, excited about this. I think it's fair. I think it's fair all the way around. I think Isaiah Stewart could greatly outplay this, or he could go south of it. But for the most part, this seems about right. And it looks like the league valued him between 12 and 14 million. So the Pistons gave him just a little extra bump. Keep your own. I'm fine with that. Hit the comments below. Let me know what you think. This is going to be polarizing. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. I don't know. We'll see you on the next one.